Hello everyone, let's have a revision on pyrimidine metabolism and antioxidant. But remember that we had already taken uh, explanatory classes for all these topics like pyrimidine metabolism, then free radicals, antioxidants, etc. So we'll just focus on one or two questions only. The remaining thing you are supposed to go through with the YouTube classes which we have been already uploaded. So the questions are salvage pathway of pyrimidines, orotic aciduria, name the amino acid involved in the synthesis of pyrimidines, and antioxidants. So the first question, it was a third question. What are the amino acid which involves in the synthesis of pyrimidine ring? So all these are like glutamine, carbon dioxide, aspartic acid. These three are involving for the synthesis of the structure of pyrimidine ring. So here two amino acid especially we can say it is glutamine and aspartic acid. Glutamine contributing the N3 of the pyrimidine ring system, then C4, then C5, C6 and N1. This much which is contributed by the aspartic acid and C2 is contributed by the carbon dioxide. So remember the question was which are the two amino acid contributing for the pyrimidine synthesis. The answer should be glutamine and aspartic acid. Now another question was pyrimidine salvage pathway. It is the simplest thing actually. How does from the various sources the pyrimidine is synthesized in human body? So here the pyrimidines like a uracil cytosine, that is uridine and cytidine, which undergoing a phosphorylation reaction with the involvement of hydrolysis of ATP to ADP, uridine will become uridine monophosphate. Then cytidine will become cytidine monophosphate. The enzymes are uridine kinase or cytidine kinase. That is one way of synthesis of pyrimidine by salvage pathway. By utilizing the catabolic products of pyrimidine nucleotides. Then second thing, deoxycytidine. Deoxycytidine again which undergoing phosphorylation to form deoxycytidine monophosphate by deoxycytidine kinase enzyme. Similarly, deoxythymidine undergoing phosphorylation by hydrolysis of ATP to ADP by thymidylate kinase enzyme to form deoxythymidine monophosphate. This is the simplest pyrimidine salvage pathway. But you should go through with the de novo synthesis of pyrimidine also in detail and its catabolism also. Now another question was orotic aciduria. Orotic aciduria is the inborn error of metabolism which is associated with the pyrimidine metabolism. There are different types of orotic aciduria. Type 1, it is the main classical orotic aciduria due to deficiency of UMP synthase enzyme. It includes two enzymes, OPRTase and OMP decarboxylase. So here the deficiency of these two enzymes which leads to inhibition of the conversion of orotic acid to orotic monophosphate. What will happen? The orotic acid will be increased, which will be accumulated in blood and urine. This causes certain excretion of urate crystals in the urinary tract, and these crystals will be excreted to the urine and which can even cause the urinary tract obstruction. Another features growth retardation. Then decreased pyrimidine nucleotide synthesis which can affect the DNA synthesis. Indirectly, it affects the RBC cell production and it can lead to anemia. Then type 2 orotic aciduria is due to deficiency of OMP decarboxylase. Remember the first one was UMP synthase. Here it is OMP decarboxylase enzyme. Here urinary elimination of orotate monophosphate than orotic acid. Okay, in type 1 it was orotic acid excretion, here it is OMP excretion. There will be megaloblastic anemia. Then another one, milder orotic aciduria due to defect of hepatic ornithine transcarbamylase. We know that OTC which is a enzyme responsible for the urea cycle. Okay, so this enzyme deficiency can cause urea cycle disorder, one of the urea cycle disorder. So what will happen? The unused mitochondrial carbamyl phosphate comes to cytoplasm, increased pyrimidine synthesis. Usually, the first step of urea cycle which occurs inside the mitochondria, where the deficiency of hepatic ornithine transcarbamylase leads to accumulation of mitochondrial carbamyl phosphate. It leads to transfer of this carbamyl phosphate to cytoplasm, and naturally more pyrimidine synthesis occurs and more orotic acid will be produced. That can lead to accumulation of orotic acid and can cause orotic aciduria. That is the third type. And the fourth type, it is Reyes syndrome. It is also known as secondary orotic aciduria. It is seen in like severely damaged mitochondria cannot utilize carbamyl phosphate due to some genetic defect. That comes to cytoplasm where overproduction of orotic acid occurs that can lead to orotic aciduria, which can be treated by feeding cytidine or uridine, which converts the cytidine triphosphate and uridine triphosphate and act as the inhibitor of this pathway. Certain drugs can aggravate the orotic aciduria, such as allopurinol. We know that the drug of choice for the gout, which is an alternative substrate for OPRTase, orotate phosphoribosyl transferase enzyme, which compete with orotic acid. The product formed inhibits the OMP decarboxylase, and that can lead to type 2 orotic aciduria. Another drug, 6-azaouridine. This can cause conversion of azaouridylate, which competitively inhibits OMP decarboxylase, ultimately which can also lead to orotic aciduria. That's it. And the last question was antioxidant. Please all of you go through with the oxidative stress and antioxidant class of mine. Myself has taken the same topic. In that I have explained in detail about the antioxidants. There are mainly two types of antioxidants are the substrate which can prevent the formation of free radicals. There are mainly two types of antioxidants like enzymatic and non-enzymatic. Enzymatic antioxidants are also known as scavenging enzymes. For example, superoxide dismutase, peroxidase, catalase, glutathione peroxidase, glutathione reductase, etc. Each has its own specific role and I have already explained there. You can go through. And non-enzymatic antioxidants also are there like vitamins, selenium, then etc. Like vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin A, zinc, all these are non-enzymatic antioxidants. Please all of you go through with the antioxidants and free radical topics. Thank you all.